Earlier this year, President McAleese paid a special visit to Hollywood in County Down to mark the 70th anniversary of the establishment of the Camphill Communities. They were set up in Scotland in 1940 and dedicated to the care of people with special needs. And now in Ireland there are more than 20 Camphill Communities, north and south, where people with learning difficulties live with their co-workers and their carers. And Brendan Wright has been taking a look at everyday life in a Camphill community.
The beautiful and serene Mourne Mountains near Kilkeel in County Down form the perfect backdrop for a community that began as a vision of the education pioneer Rudolf Steiner and has for 40 years now been an integral facet of life in this area. The Camphill community at Mourne Grange now has a population of 140 people, including 60 adults with learning difficulties and special needs who work and live together in a quite idyllic village setting. Here, disadvantaged people live with co-workers in family groups designed to foster mutual help and understanding.
I think especially if you come from outside and walk around, that gives a very strong impression, the peace, the order, the contentment. But of course, if you're here struggling in the daily ups and downs, it's not always as heavenly as you might imagine. And it's quite a lot to accompany some of the people. Some of them are severely troubled, and that's also the reason why they can't be at home. And others are strong and striding out, and so they support each other. And I think these processes of caring for each other definitely creates this, what you would call a peaceful, loving atmosphere.
For the dedicated carers here, this is a challenging but a fulfilling job.
It's a very rewarding work because I think you really need to love the person you're working with all the time and see through the mask of their handicap. So that is an inner attitude which is necessary to live here.
The Camphill communities aim to be as self-sustaining as possible, and here at Mourne Grange they produce much of their own food, and there's a shop, a laundry and a bakery. They're also big into crafts like woodworking, pottery and weaving, using wool from their own sheep. The atmosphere is warm, comforting and welcoming. Some of the residents have been here for many years, but despite being away from their natural families, it's very clear they couldn't be happier.
I left at home till I was 19, and then my mum and dad came. My mum and dad came home one day, and they said there was Craig Camphill Communities, so they asked me would I like to live there. So I said I didn't know what Camphill was, so I said okay, I'll try it out. So I came to Craig at 19, and I stayed there for 3 years. And it was difficult to live away from home at the beginning, but I got used to it. And after Craig, I came to Mourne Grange down at Kilkeel, and that changed my life because Mourne Grange was a very special place. And I couldn't believe that I had so many friends there, and I've been here since 18 years now. I love it actually. I just love living here because I've got so many friends at Mourne Grange and so many friends in Kilkeel and at my church. They've welcomed me home here, and I'm very, very pleased. And my mum and dad and my family just can't believe what a wonderful place I live in.
Camphill also has another idyllic location in the north at Glencraig on the shores of Belfast Lough. But it has urban centres too, like this pottery in Crawfordsburn and a thriving cafe and bakery in Hollywood. Like all their communities, everyone here is expected to pull their weight.
We do the white bread, the wholemeal bread, the farmer's bread, the spelt, the rye, great. I work in the farm on a Monday, Thursday, and on a Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday, I'm a baker. So I am.
So you've got 2 jobs.
Just
It's hard work then.
piece of cake. So it is, piece of cake. There's nothing one hard thing about it.
All those who work with the disadvantaged in Camphill are volunteers, many of them from abroad, like the head baker in Hollywood, Edwin, who's from Holland and came here with his wife.
We weren't really happy what we were doing in Holland, and well, this opportunity came. We were asked to help out to start a new house with to live with people with special needs. It took us a while to think about it, but then we decided, well, yeah, let's have a go, and actually it worked out really well. We're really happy here. Yeah.
And what's the best bit of it, do you think?
It is. Well, it's living and working together with all kinds of people, different people from different countries, people with special needs, other people, and you get so much from everybody. Everybody has his own individual thing to bring, and it's a constant learning thing, constant inspiration, what you get from everybody around.
Not all Camphill volunteers are from overseas. Some, like Eddie O'Gorman, came to Mourngrange when he retired from teaching.
I think it provides a very meaningful life for people who have learning difficulties and learning needs. It is not an institution, most definitely not an institution. It has so many aspects to it. I think the villagers have a very full life in this place. They are valued for who they are, and the work they do is meaningful. And I think I often said at home, if I had a child who became an adult who had real learning difficulties and I couldn't cope, I would want them to be in a place like this rather than in some kind of institution. So I think it is an extremely benign environment for all the people that are living here. And I would say that I have learned a great deal from working with people with special needs. They have taught me more than I may have taught them. I'm quite sure of that.
The President, Mary McAleese, is a big supporter of the Camphill Communities, and she came to Glencraig to help celebrate their 70th anniversary. Mrs McAleese described Camphill as the bridge to the fullness of life, an apt remark from someone who spent much of her presidency promoting togetherness on this island.